OWN shutting down Martell's plan became a turning point that many fans felt was long overdue. This was not a small behind-the-scenes disagreement or a quiet production note. It was a clear message from the network that certain lines could not be crossed anymore. Martell truly believed he could reshape the show by pushing Arionne Curry into the spotlight and making her a central figure. In his mind, controversy meant attention, and attention meant ratings. What he failed to understand was that the audience had already grown tired of the same cycle. OWN executives saw the bigger picture and recognized that this move would do more harm than good, not only to the show, but to the network's image as well. Martell's confidence in this plan showed how disconnected he had become from the viewers. Over the years, fans watched Love and Marriage Huntsville because it felt real, emotional, and rooted in growth. Even when the drama was messy, it had purpose. Martell's attempt to force Arionne into the center felt artificial and forced. It did not come from an organic storyline or a natural progression. It came from desperation. OWN reportedly shut the idea down quickly because they knew the backlash would be intense and possibly irreversible. Arionne Curry has always been linked to chaos in Martell's personal life. Every time her name comes up, it brings back old wounds, arguments, and tension that viewers feel have already been dragged out too long. Martell seemed to think that giving her more screen time would somehow refresh his storyline. Instead, executives saw it as reopening a wound that never healed. The network was not interested in repeating the same conflicts that had already exhausted the audience. Behind the scenes, producers were reportedly frustrated. They had spent years trying to balance drama with meaningful content. Martell's plan threatened to undo that work. Some insiders described the proposal as reckless, saying it felt like watching someone willingly walk into a fire while insisting it would keep them warm. OWN understood that short-term buzz is not worth long-term damage, and that is why they stepped in. Fans had already been vocal for seasons about their fatigue. Social media was full of comments asking for growth, new stories, and real change. Many viewers said they no longer wanted to see recycled arguments or power plays. When rumors spread that Martell wanted Arionne front and center, the reaction was immediate and negative. People did not feel excited, they felt annoyed and disappointed. OWN saw these reactions and took them seriously. Martell's biggest mistake was believing he could control the narrative without considering how the audience felt. Reality TV may involve editing and production, but it still relies on viewer trust. Once that trust is broken, it is very hard to rebuild. His insistence on pushing Arionne made it clear that he was more focused on winning a personal battle than telling a story that made sense for the show. Producers reportedly tried to explain to Martell that controversy alone does not equal good television. There needs to be balance, growth, and moments that feel real. Instead of listening, he doubled down. He believed that if he pushed hard enough, the network would eventually give in. OWN's response showed that this era of bending to cast demands was over. The shutdown of Martell's plan also exposed deeper issues within the show. For years, fans had sensed that certain storylines were being forced while others were being ignored. Important conversations were cut, while small conflicts were stretched out. This imbalance made the show feel less authentic. Martell's attempt to center Arionne highlighted this problem even more clearly. Social media became a mirror, reflecting the audience's frustration. Tweets, comments, and videos poured in criticizing the idea before it even happened. Many fans said they would stop watching if Arionne became a main focus. Others said the show had already lost its heart, and this would be the final straw. OWN executives could not ignore that level of backlash. While Martell continued to post cryptic messages online, hinting that people would soon understand his vision, the audience had already made up their minds. They were not buying what he was selling. Instead of excitement, his posts were met with sarcasm and disbelief. This reaction should have been a wake-up call, but Martell appeared unwilling to accept it. Behind closed doors, tensions reportedly reached a breaking point. Producers were scrambling to protect the season and keep the show from falling apart. apart. Some insiders claimed that stopping Martell felt like trying to stop a flood with bare hands. The more he pushed, the more unstable the situation became. OWN had no choice but to draw a firm line. The cast also felt the strain. Longtime members who helped build the show were reportedly tired of the chaos overshadowing their real stories. They wanted space to share their journeys, their growth, and their challenges. Instead, they felt pushed aside to make room for drama that no longer served a purpose. This imbalance hurt morale and made filming more difficult. Fans noticed the shift as well. Many said the show no longer felt enjoyable but draining. What once felt like messy fun now felt toxic and repetitive. Viewers compared the season to a train wreck where no one was steering. Martell's attempt to justify his plan only added fuel to the fire. Screenshots of his comments circulated online, with fans mocking the idea that controversy alone could save the show. As the backlash grew, rumors began to surface about Melody potentially getting her own solo show. This idea excited many fans who felt she deserved a fresh start away from Martell's chaos. A show focused on healing, motherhood, and personal growth sounded like the direction viewers wanted. Whether true or not, the rumor highlighted how ready the audience was to move on. OEN executives were reportedly very clear that Arionne would not become a central figure. They saw this decision as necessary to protect the show's reputation. Allowing Martell to push his agenda would have signaled that the network valued drama over integrity. By shutting it down, they showed that they were listening to the audience. The tension created by this situation made every interaction feel loaded. Fans analyzed every post, every interview, and every episode for signs of manipulation. The trust between viewers and the show was fragile, and Martell's actions continued to test it. His refusal to adapt made it clear that the problem was not just one person, but a pattern of behavior. Repeated attempts to insert Arionne into the storyline did not add depth. Instead, they highlighted the lack of new ideas. Viewers wanted evolution, not repetition. They wanted to see people grow, learn, and move forward. Martell's obsession with controlling the narrative did the opposite, pushing the show backward. Executives reportedly worried about the long-term impact. If changes were not made, the show risked losing loyal viewers. Ratings might hold for a while, but fatigue was setting in. The energy that once made the show special was fading. OEN knew they had to act before it was too late. This situation raised serious questions about Martell's judgment. Could he recognize when a storyline had run its course? Could he step back and allow space for others to shine? Or was he too focused on maintaining relevance at any cost? These questions lingered in the minds of fans and producers alike. The fallout from the failed plan was intense. Social media became a place for venting and debate. Some fans expressed anger, while others felt sadness over what the show had become. Hashtags trended, memes spread, and comment sections turned into therapy sessions for frustrated viewers. Anonymous sources claimed that some producers even threatened to quit if Arionne was forced into the spotlight. They believed the backlash would sink the show. These claims, whether fully accurate or not, showed how serious the situation had become. This was no longer just about one storyline. It was about the future of the entire series. Martell reportedly held meetings trying to convince executives that Arionne would save ratings. Despite repeated warnings, he refused to let go of the idea. One source said executives had to stop him mid-presentation because it was going nowhere. That moment symbolized the disconnect between Martell and everyone else involved. The cast's exhaustion was evident. They were tired of chaos overshadowing meaningful stories. Important moments were being cut, while petty conflicts were highlighted. This editing choice created a distorted version of reality that viewers could feel. The show no longer reflected growth or inspiration. Fans compared the situation to a cycle that could not be broken. Every season felt like a repeat of the last. Martell's failed plan only confirmed what many already believed. The show needed change, not more of the same. The possibility of Melody moving on to her own platform gave fans hope. It suggested that growth and healing were still possible within the franchise. At the same time, it raised concerns about Martell's role. Would he support that growth, or would he try to interfere as he had before? OEN's decision to block Arionne from the spotlight sent a strong message. It showed that the network was willing to protect its values and its audience. This move was not about silencing drama, but about setting boundaries. The show could not survive on chaos alone. The repeated attempts to recycle old conflicts damaged trust. Viewers wanted authenticity, not manipulation. Martell's refusal to let go of outdated storylines made it harder for the show to move forward. Each failed attempt pushed fans further away. As the season progressed, the consequences became clear. Viewers questioned whether the show could survive if Martell continued down this path. The writing seemed to be on the wall. Change was needed, and fast. So what does this mean for Martell? It means he faces a choice. He can continue clinging to the past, repeating the same mistakes and losing audience support, or he can reflect, learn, and evolve. Growth is not easy, but it is necessary. For the show, this moment could be a turning point. By listening to fans and setting limits, OEN has a chance to restore balance. The series could return to what made it special in the first place: real stories, real growth, and real connections. For the fans, this decision feels like validation. Their voices were heard, their frustration mattered. Whether the show can rebuild trust remains to be seen, but this was a step in the right direction. The future is uncertain, but one thing is clear: Arionne is not the solution, and Martell's old strategies no longer work. The audience has moved on, and the show must move with them. The next chapters will determine whether Love and Marriage Huntsville can reclaim its heart or fade under the weight of repeated mistakes. Now, the question remains, will Martell finally accept reality and change his approach? Will the show embrace growth instead of chaos? And will fans be willing to give it another chance? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain: this moment changed everything, and there is no going back to the way things were before.